Hey guys, this is T Mash from 2A Syndicate, and today we're going to be doing an unboxing and an installation on the Cyelee Calf Red Dot. Okay guys, I am back. I want to do a quick install on top of my Stoeger STR9 Combat. I had a couple requests to show how to put a red dot on. The red dot that I elected to put on this was the new Cyelee. The Cyelee that I got to put on this is a doctor cut. I'm going to go through that with what you get in that box with that Stoeger STR9. First off, let me go ahead and clear this and show you that it's clear. I'll lock the slide back there. You can see there's nothing inside. Okay, well, first and foremost, this guy came with a threaded barrel. I did buy this comp from Harrington Arms, and the comp that I bought from Harrington Arms is basically a Glock compensator, but it would fit on this, especially a lot of these are Glock clones anyway. You just have to make sure whatever thread you get that you check what your thread number is, so you can make sure you get the right compensator to go on that. And then I just screwed off the cover for it. It comes with an O-ring. It does tell you when you get the compensator to take the O-ring off with the threaded barrel cover, and then you can go ahead and thread this on. Once you thread this on, what it has is two little threads that go in there as well that will lock it in. So they're lock nuts to go inside, and they will lock that down. I do use Loctite. Don't use any red Loctite on anything that I'm going to show you today, because red Loctite is permanent Loctite. So I always use blue, but I digress. We're going to get started. This guy comes with a top on it, just like that. I did unscrew the cover, and the screws are here with the cover. You're going to continue to use these screws for your optics plates. The cool thing with the Stoeger STR9, it does come with 4 different optics plates. It comes with the doctor cut, and I've said doctor cut a few times. I've gotten people that ask me what is a doctor cut and how do I fit certain optics on top of my firearms, and these are the different cuts. This one has your 4 plates that are out, or I should say your 4 little stumps that are out, that's going to fit inside your optics. And the ones that are at all 4 sides are called doctor cuts. It's a doctor cut plate. Anything that you have that is a doctor cut will fit in this. This guy is also, I just want to make sure I didn't drop anything. This guy is also this one will fit, let's see, the series of the Romeo Zeros will fit here. Just kind of more of the budget optics will kind of go in there as well. A few of the old school, let's see, Holosuns will fit there as well. This guy here is an RMR cut. This will fit all your Holosuns, Trigicons, and everything like that will go in here. And this one here is an SMR cut, or SML cut, sorry. It'll fit both of those as well. Any plates you get for closed emitters, they go on top of these plates, and then your optic will go on top of the plate for the closed emitter. So we'll go ahead and get started. So with the Cyelee, I kind of unboxed it already. So I will go through what came with the Cyelee. I don't know if you guys watch 704 Tactical. I do watch him a lot. He does the Fridays deals. He gives a lot and shows a lot of really great deals that come on there. And so far, with the very first Cyelee that I bought, I put it on my AR. I have put probably 4,000 rounds through the AR. That Cyelee has never lost 0. It has never died out. It has kept going. And with a Holosun that I got for that as well, I'm telling you, this thing stood up to it. Now, it's not as clear and as bright as the Holosun, but it's for a budget optic. And I wanted to run those because I like to give these guys a chance to make sure that if I'm spending $500 for an optic and there's another optic that's $300, I want to know why I'm spending that much difference. What is going to be the difference? So I'll buy some budget optics to run those things into the ground and see if they hold up. If they hold up, that's what I'm here for, to let you guys know that the optics are good. So with that being said, I'll get started. With the Cyelee, it comes with actually a bunch of different screws to fit on your optic and to fit on your optics plate. Of course, because different guns have different plates and different screw sets. So Cyelee will send you different screw sets to hopefully one of those will fit in there. Now, with the different firearms that you have, they also have screw sets as well. So they make sure that you're covered in that category. Cyelee also sends you an extra battery. So I have a battery inside mine. They already sent me an extra battery that comes in that, so that's cool. With that being said, Cyelee is a top mount battery as well. So with this top mount here, I don't have to worry about flipping it over, taking it off, and having to re-zero to take my optic off to replace the battery and put it back on. So you're also getting that. With some of these high-end optics, they don't even have the top mount. So with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and remove this. It comes with the bottom here, and this is for putting it on an AR or anything like that, a rifle. This will go on your Picatinny rail, but I don't need that. So I'm going to go ahead and remove that plate at the bottom. And a lot of times, if you're confused about what kind of cut you got and you want to make sure that you have the right cut, once you remove your optic from the Picatinny, you'll see it will have that same type of cut. So you see your post there as well as here. And so your stumps, they'll go on that optic and it'll fit over that optic, and that optic will be good to go. So if I take this one that's on here, and I do this as well, and I recommend that you do that too, is you go ahead and you stick your optic on top of your plate just to make sure it seats. Because if you don't, and you take everything down and then you find out it don't seat, you'll be pretty upset. So I always make sure they seat right before I go ahead and install them anyway. So with that being said, what you need, and a lot of people don't say that you need it, but a lot of people do. My opinion is that you do need a torque wrench. The torque wrenches are very important when it comes to optics, because when it comes to optics, you just want to make sure that you are torquing it in perfect, that your optic doesn't move, and that you're getting that optic in there at that precise torque that it's supposed to be. Now, sometimes I don't use a lot of Loctite on some of my firearms when I'm switching out optics, but on this one, I'm going to keep this on for a while because I want to run it. I want to see how it's going to hold out. This is my first Cyelee. This is my first Cyelee pistol optic, and it's gotten real good reviews for the Dr. Cut. This is the Cyelee Calf, and let me see if I can get this guy on so you can just see a little bit of the dot in there as well. And the cool thing about this as well, while we're on this subject, is I'll go over this. You'll see me turn this optic down. The cool thing about this optic is that your adjustable buttons are on the side, and they're not on just a regular side. They're going to be on each side. So that's your plus. So you can increase your light, and your minus is on this side, so you can decrease your light. Now the cool thing is as well, let me see if okay, we got that in focus there. The cool thing is that to turn it off, you would just press this minus button and hold it down. To turn it on, it's going to be the opposite, or where you press the plus and you hold it down, and then it will turn on. And like I said again, you have your wind adjustment, and that's your elevation, my bad. And then your wind adjustment is there. And it comes with the screws for that as well. So this is going to be your screw for your top mounts, or when you're taking it off of your plate. And this will be your adjustment screw for your wind and elevation. So let's go ahead and get started. First thing is first, I already know it's a doctor cut. I know from 2 reasons. I bought it a doctor cut, and then this has a doctor cut on it, and then for my doctor cut plate, it's going to be there. So I'll go ahead and install the doctor plate in there. And with doing that, okay, with getting that in, I just brought my stand in. So I'm going to go ahead and maybe get us a little bit closer of a view with the stand in here. Okay, so now I have it in the stand. The reason why I'm explaining everything to its entirety is because I did get a one of a YouTube subscribers that said I needed to slow down and kind of really explain things. And a lot of times when we do this a lot, we just think people know what we're doing and just forgetting that at one part we started doing this as well, and we were looking for those YouTubers out there that were explaining how to do certain things. So I'm just going to make sure I slow down and explain things in its entirety for you. So with that being said, I'm going to keep this on for a while. I'm going to go ahead and put a little bit of Loctite in this screw. It's kind of hard to do that on the camera, but I'll show you that as soon as I do that. So I take a little Loctite and I put it right on the screw. And I'll put it in this side. I'll take a little Loctite on the second screw. And I'll put that on as well. I'll take my torque wrench and I'll go ahead and tighten it down. Now, I don't torque it until I get both sides tightened down pretty thick there. And then once I get everything tightened down, then I'll go ahead and torque it when they're both hand tight on there, just to make sure that I don't have any lift on one side or anything like that. So I'll make sure that I get this hand tight. And then I'll do the other side as hand tight. Now, a lot of these screws that come on these firearms, whether it's a budget, gun like the Stoger or a Springfield Prodigy, because I put one on my Prodigy as well. You just make sure that these screws, that you're really careful with these, because once you torque these, you'll have to either go find another one or call the company to have them send you another one. So now that I got these guys hand tight, this torque says it should be anywhere from around 15 to 20 foot-pounds. I put mine kind of right in the middle of that. I don't go all the way up to 20 unless I need to. But once I get that in there, I go ahead and tighten that down or torque it. That's torqued there. And I'll go ahead and torque this one as well. And it's very important to make sure that you are even with your weight distribution when you're torquing these screws down, or they will strip on you. So you got to really be careful of that. Okay, so the same thing is going to go for my Cyelee optic. Now that I have this down, I'm going to go ahead and stick that on, and that pops right on there. So before I go ahead and torque that down, I'm going to show you the fit. The fit is pretty nice on there. Because it is a threaded barrel, it has the hindsight optics for a compressor. So it says compressor size optics, and it has one in the back as well. So when I put that on there, I want to make sure that I'm looking through this and that I see a pretty good picture before I tighten it down, because I may not like it. I have suppressor height sights on here, so they're pretty high. So I want to make sure that I got the right window. I want to make sure that I got a good picture on there as well, and I do. So when that is settled and I like what I see, then I'm going to go ahead and say, yes, I'm going to install this guy, because I have gotten to this point where I did get an optic. I put an optic on here. The window wasn't as high. My suppressor height sights were a little bit too high at the top. So at that point, I knew that that optic wasn't for me. So I went ahead and changed that. But with that being said, a lot of these guys already come with a little Loctite on there. I won't overdo it with the Loctite. I'll go ahead and, put that in. Sometimes if you overdo it with the Loctite, it'll make it harder to get it off when you need that thing to come off. So with that being said, I'll get these guys started as well. And like I said, I won't go all the way torquing it until it's ready to be torqued. I will get it hand tight before I start even trying to torque this thing down. So while I was away, or I should say while, yeah, you were away and I was away from you for a second, I did run into that problem. So the screws that actually come with the Cyelee did not fit so the screws that came with the Cyelee did not fit going in the plate and screwing into the start of the pistol itself. So I actually had to go with the screws that actually came with the plates, and that comes in your box when you order or when you have a Stoeger STR9 Combat. And these guys go in everything just perfect. They fit in. So I'm going to go ahead and hand tighten these guys and get them in. Okay, I will go ahead and start to screw these guys down. Once I get this down on there and locked in, and then I will go in and proceed to torque that down and to make sure that it's torqued down good and at its correct pound. Okay, and again, I'm telling you that I torqued down at half of in between of what the foot pound is allowing. That's my first torque there. Let me wiggle this off and make sure I can get this off here. And I will go and do the other side as well. Once I get that torqued down, and you can hear the ting on there, then we will be all good to go. Let me make sure that I get that out of there. We'll be all good to go. And at that point, we're pretty tight. Everything is tight on here. The red dot is showing up. The thing left now is going to be to zero this red dot, and I will have video footage coming up from the zero as well. Again, guys, this is the Cyelee Calf, and it is a doctor plate. So thanks for watching. Remember, train hard, train often. I will be back for video footage on zeroing my red dot. Thanks again, guys.